Hello, everybody. Jess Lowe's with another Structural Building Components Association weekly update. As you can see with the background, which I do not hide, do not blur, I'm traveling this week. It's been a fun week, been busy, a couple different cities. First and foremost, as I talk about travel, make sure you get registered for the Buffalo OQM coming up at the end of July. We are extending the deadline on the rooms a little bit, but definitely one of those things. I think we've got 120 people with 75 companies. So good attendance, but we want to see you there. So if you're not registered, get registered. Buffalo's going to be fun. We've got a baseball outing. We've got some CM only roundtables. We've got our general roundtables, which will include everybody in small groups. We'll have our board meeting, our strategic plan update, and really just a lot of fun, a lot of good opportunities to talk and network. I've been explaining what OQMs are to a few different people this week. So it's one of those to where it really allows you to get a lot of value out of your membership, that networking, being able to create that contact, that person that, you can ask questions of. Sometimes that's SBCA staff, sometimes that's a vendor, sometimes it's another component manufacturer from across the country that you never even knew existed. And you realize that you have very similar issues and problems to work with and deal on, whatever. It's nice to build that network with component manufacturing is very specific, and to have those people to relate to pick their minds, to pick their brain, that kind of thing. So register for the Buffalo OQM. Beyond that, so why have I been traveling? First off was Indianapolis. We had a second site visit. Me and Allie, our director of events, were there to really plan out where our signage is going to go. How do we direct people? How do we get them from the hotels? And we've got 3 of them. I'll get into the 3 hotels to where, give you some feedback on what you might want to do to specialize it to your trip or what you're looking for there. But, how do you get from point A to point B? What happens if this escalator's down? What happens if this goes on, or that kind of, we try to, anticipate different things that'll come up. Obviously, the thing that it's unanticipated will probably happen. But if you game plan those things, I find that it's easier to react better once you've got a few different things and options there. But talking about the few different hotels, we've got the Omni, which that one is a little bit further. It's not further away. It's actually probably the closest to the show floor. It is also closest to the nightlife, if that's what you're into, the restaurants and that kind of stuff. So if you are one of those that want to save steps, it's going to be about equidistance from the other hotels to the actual show floor. You're going to be walking a lot on the show floor because it's jam-packed. We've almost run out of space there. So exhibitors, if you want that extra 100 square feet, get that in as soon as possible. But the Omni is going to be closer to the restaurants at dinner. If you're walking to and from those restaurants, you're going to want to stay there. However, the Marriott, which is on the other side, it's kind of around the block down the street, that has got, I think I counted 3 different places to get cocktails. They've got 3 different bars. One is a bourbon bar, and they've got some pretty good bourbons. I saw them. I didn't taste them, but I saw them on the back bar. But a couple options there. So if that's one of the things that you're looking for, you want some variety in what you do, what you sip on afterwards, that's a great option. And then we've got the Westin, which is a really good option as well. That's probably where I'm going to be with our staff. But all 3 are really nice hotels. I've stayed there. I've been to Indianapolis several times for, kind of my past life and going there for conferences. So very familiar with it. It's a great town. You're going to love the restaurants. It is got a ton of options. Really could not decide where to eat. So we had a few different options, great steakhouses, a lot of, kind of foodie, type things as well. So if you're thinking about a city that you want to go to, BCMC Indianapolis, really impressive as far as the experience. Obviously, we're going to do the best we can to put on a show. We're going to have a ton of exhibitors, a ton of component manufacturers there. Our Framer Summit, we're melding that in as well. So you'll see a lot of different people. Hopefully you'll be able to ask some framers, how do you install our product? What do you want to talk about that? So that kind of gets me into the second aspect of what I've been doing this week. And that was our TPI and SBCA Executive Committee, our leadership meeting. So the board from TPI and their executive committee got together talking about different ways of how TPI and SBCA can work together. Obviously, BCSI came up. We're talking about revisions there and what we're going to do there and how we can do that, how we can work together and making sure that the TPI folks, specifically the TAC members, the engineers, that they feel like they've got a voice in that process, which they certainly do. And, we'll formalize that. We're about ready to start sending out some invitations and with that. So that'll be, really important. Other things on just like QC, and the importance of that. TPI 1, Chapter 3. We've got a new TPI 1. I say we, but we as an industry do. TPI put that out. Project committee, which I happen to be on, put a lot of hard work into that. But do component manufacturers understand Chapter 3? And if you do not automatically know everything that I'm talking about with these things. You got to go do some research. You got to know what is in chapter 3. It's quality control, talks about quality assurance. Those are things that component manufacturers, everybody, I've said this before, everybody thinks they build the best trusses, but yet we see trusses out there that, could be better. It comes down to quality control. And that was a kind of a pivot in some of the conversation, at dinner last night, that, we are manufacturers first. We get kind of into this frame of, oh, well, it's construction, it's just wood, and, you can do whatever you want with it. Really, when it comes to component manufacturing, it is very specific, and it's a very highly technical, highly complicated process. We're taking imperfect material and wood. Oftentimes we're taking metal plates, putting it all together, and it needs to be very specific. So that's one of the things that I think we need to do a little bit better job as an industry of just talking points. And, BJ Lau sat next to him at dinner last night, and he's just a wealth of information. And he broke down, we're, logistics companies, we are manufacturing, we're sales, we're design, all these different things. And that's all true. Many companies, they'll just do one of those things and they'll do it very well and repetitively. Component manufacturers need to do all four. But the other thing is, every situation is unique. It's not like we're selling the same thing over and over again. We're selling solutions, but every project is different. So every logistics, every trip, that kind of stuff, it's very unique. So it's a very complicated, but at the same time, challenging and rewarding industry to be in. And that's why I love being in part of the SBCA and still being able to talk with component manufacturers, our suppliers, our framers, everybody utilizing that way. So I have gone on for a very long time. So yes, Indianapolis, Chicago this week, a lot of travel, a lot of things getting accomplished right before July 4th. I hope everybody has a great weekend. Maybe you're able to take a little time off and extend it. I'm going to be doing that. Going to be going camping in Glacier National Park with my family. So I'm looking forward to that. But beyond that, we'll be looking forward to getting back into the action next week. And as my dad says, summer's half over at July 4th. I'm not sure about that math, but he says it, and summer goes quick after the 4th of July. So happy 4th, and we will talk to you all next week. Till then, peaks up, press on, and have a great weekend.